Hello, welcome to Veddiinspires, and in this video I want to explain to you the importance of understanding anxiety and depression in terms of self-discovery. And the first thing I want to go through is this quote. I think it's a great quote, and when I heard it, I think it typifies the understanding of anxiety and depression. It says, having anxiety and depression is like being scared and tired at the same time. It's like the fear of failure but feeling no urge to be productive. It's like wanting friends but hate socializing. It's wanting to be alone but not wanting to be lonely. It's like feeling everything all at once and then feeling paralyzingly numb. This is the picture of anxiety and depression. And when I saw that, I was like, wow. The profound understanding here is that you're stuck. You're down. You don't want to stay down, but you think that you cannot go up. You feel that going up is no choice that you have. You think that you have no option but to stay down or stay where you at. And another quote that I want to go through is this quote from the Paradise Lost. It says, the mind in its own place can make a heaven of hell a hell of a heaven. I mean, here is someone who has 3 square meals, a roof over his head, something to look forward to in terms of having education and having the free education from high school up until early college, but he is wanting to kill himself or feeling like he is lost or dumb or stupid or feeling so much intense feeling that he thinks that he is worth nothing because his Instagram post got 3 likes, which was fewer than his peers or her peers. And this typifies the idea of making heaven a hell and feeling something so intense that our perception revolves around ourselves. It's kind of like the narcissistic feeling of thinking that the world revolves around our perception. Now, this is not to feel guilty or self-loathe or self-judge yourself intensely. It's something to be curious about, not furious about. It's something to think, wow, my perspective on things and the way that I'm thinking is actually far farther away from reality and the way that the world is. And instead of gnashing our teeth over our weaknesses, is to find the areas of opportunities, areas that we can explore, areas that will give us the advantage that we seek. And when we explore this, we can then channel this feeling that is intensely focused on ourselves to an activity, to a purpose that can create a meaning for us, that can create something that is big, that can outlast us. Because what drives me is legacy. What drives me is something that I can do that will live beyond me. And that idea is something that helps me stay the course in making these videos and in finding ways to share the inspirational messages, the inspirational learnings, the things that are helping me handle my mental health better. Because I'm more scared of regret than rejection. I'm more scared of I wish what could have happened than I felt that I look stupid. And to many extent, that feeling of fear, that feeling of anxious, that feeling of like we are not worth something deter us from doing something that then in the future will have something to add to the ever-growing list of something to be depressed about or something to feel down about. And it's challenging that comfort zone, right? The problem is that a lot of people, and shout out to Brandon Carter for this, because he said that people are trying to see what they can get away with instead of seeing how far they can push themselves. And I think this is true because when you start looking for shortcuts, you end up getting into a lot more trouble than you get a solution, because you cannot bargain for peanuts and expect a king's ransom return. You cannot put in a little fire, a little wood and expect a big fire. For us to get that big mental state, we have to commit. We have to do something for the long term. In order to understand ourselves through anxiety and depression, we have to walk through it by finding ways to push through it. And Jordan Peterson once said, the path to less suffering is through suffering. The path to getting peace is going through chaos. Is understanding that you have to do something to get something. And powering through, restoring through is not a temporary fight. It's not a moment's fight. It's not a ephemeral fight. It's the fight for the long term. But of course, you start small. But having that mindset that this is a long-range program But those small steps of progress will keep you hooked in for that long term that you need in order to gain that mastery, gain that meaning, gain that purpose, find your way back home. So it's embracing your journey. It's embracing where you have to start. So what, you are black. So what, you grew up on the wrong side of the track. So what, your mama and father wasn't in your life. So what, people rejected you when you were back home. So what, your mama didn't love you. So what, that you feel alone and no one understands you and you feel alone with your thoughts and feelings. Let that be your superpower. Because it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you finish. It doesn't matter how you begin, it matters how you are ending. And the middle is determined not by your circumstances, but by your decisions, by the interpretations that you give to things, by the things that you think might not work out, but you do it anyway. Those small decisions that you keep doing, you keep pushing through, will create a whole better story than someone who started from the top. Because the key is not to be boggled down by your circumstances. The key is to push through despite your circumstances, and finding that extra bit of drive from I came from nothing and it's my duty, it's my responsibility to break the generational curse of finding something to make of myself, and thereby making sure that the people who come after me wouldn't have to go through what I went through. And that's part of what drives me. And whether this becomes something bigger than I expect, I don't know. How far it's gonna go, I don't know. But the joy of the consistent progress of finding the potentials within myself and how far I can push myself helps me handle the darkness within, helps me handle the feelings of feeling down, helps me handle the life situation and the stresses and the people who are aggressive to me at the workplace or my relationships with my family or everything. And that's what the understanding of ourselves comes down to. And as we are reaching the end towards this power through video, I want to give you a little bit of what I practice every single day to help me with the calmness within that helps calm my nerves, and that's a mindfulness breathing. And this is just to sit in a comfortable position and kind of like close your eyes and think about yourself and your life. And as you're thinking about it, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And kind of like circle through your heart the way my fingers are going. This helps you focus on the present. And one of the keys to meditation is that you're always going to be distracted, to drift away. And this circular motion that you're going through your heart will help you stay in the present. Think about the insecurities. Think about the feeling of feeling down. Think about the rejections. Think about the daily struggles of being a man and the things that are expected of you. Think about your feeling of worthlessness. Think about the feeling of you feeling useless. Think about those intense feelings. Let it wash over you. Now think about it washing away. See yourself calm. See yourself in control. Keep breathing in and out. Deep breathe through your nose and out through your mouth. And the purpose of this little exercise is to bring a calmness to yourself. Because you're a warrior, you're a hero, you're not a victim. And for you to feel at peace with yourself, this daily way of just bringing those feelings of you feeling down to the full focus of your mind and then feeling them wash away over you, preparing yourself for battle, preparing yourself to go on a strike. But to be able to feel this and still understand with the mindset shift that you are much more than you are seeing yourself now will help you to start seeing yourself much more than what you are right now. Because like we talked about earlier, the path through suffering, the path to less suffering is through suffering. And finding your meaning and purpose through anxiety and depression comes from understanding that your perception has much more to do with how you're feeling than the reality of things. And a lot of things we've talked about today in today's video is how you can start to reframe your perspective and understand that you are on a journey to self-discovery. And it's going to take time, but the small steps of progress is starting small with the things you can control and understanding the things you cannot control. And as always, thanks for watching. Be great and follow for more to stay inspired.